Thanks for joining Comic Book Lounge. Today, we are reading and reviewing The Infernal Hulk #1, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson and incredible art by Nick Klein. A little background for this first issue. I'll start with the origins of the Eldest. He's a primordial, gamma-powered entity and the firstborn of the Mother of Horrors, created as a living weapon to conquer the multiverse. We first encounter him in Incredible Hulk #19, where the Hulk initially defeats him by creating a weapon grown from the body of Bruce Banner. He then appears in Hulk #30, where the Eldest baits the Hulk into a brutal rematch by resurrecting and possessing the corpse of the Abomination. During this fight, the Eldest was able to physically rip Bruce Banner out of the Hulk, leaving the body vacant and Banner powerless and exiled. The Eldest now inhabits the Hulk, and he searched for the Mother of Horrors, where he found her comatose and broken. He then devours her and transforms himself into the Infernal Hulk. As of 2026, the Hulk is no longer a hero or a monster. He is the god of monsters, and the multiverse is his to devour. This leads us to the new issue. Let's begin. The setting is Red Creek, Kentucky. We see two men walking out of a new building under construction. We see one with a baseball cap who's on his phone, distracted, and the bearded one who is David Bridger in plaid saying, "Good work today. Help me get the plastic up before it rains. Then you can go back to your diaper duty." When all of a sudden they hear a boom. Next we hear a siren. Both men look up. The man in the baseball cap says, "What the hell is that?" Bridger says, "It's an old evacuation siren." The other man says, "I've never heard it." We see the bearded man jump into his pickup truck and drive away. And we see it says 3 hours ago. Cut to now. We hear officer screaming. 3 clicks, one says. It ain't really him. Next scene, we see a full military battalion, men in tanks, helicopters, Humvees, and they all seem to be waiting for something. When in the background, we hear a boom. We hear a man continue, "He's a good guy." Next thing we see is a scared officer screaming, "Still moving, 2 clicks." Another man off panel screams, "This is the mystery guy," or something. "The real guy's going to show up in the nick of time and save us. You'll see." We now see an officer standing in front of a tank screaming, "Last bus just cleared the line. The town's empty." A soldier whispering, "Yeah, except for us." David Bridger screaming at the soldier, "We're giving the town time to get clear, kid. That's the job we're doing. You good?" "Yes, sir, Mr. Bridger." Another soldier reacts, "Holy crap, you're David Bridger? Captain Davy said you were a legit war hero in your day." Bridger, "That's not how I remember it." The soldier continues, "You were a crazy good shot at least, and you killed an assload of people." Cut to a chaotic scene, 2 helicopters launching missiles at something. And we hear Bridger say, "That's the opposite of a hero, kid." Quick little background on David Bridger here. Last time he was used in the 2019 Marvel anthology War is Hell. David Bridger was introduced as a team lead serving in Afghanistan, while him and his team encounter a war devil known as Ginny Degal. And everyone was killed other than David Bridger. He was the lone survivor. He still has some sort of connection to the war devil. What it is, we don't know yet. We hear somebody scream, 1,000 meters. Bridger, "What's your name?" The soldier answers, "Dorsey, sir." Bridger, "I can see your name tape. What's your first name?" Officer responds, "Travis." "Travis, nobody in combat's a hero. Everyone's just trying not to get killed. The good ones hope their buddies not get killed." Bridger continues, "I know it's as scary as hell, Travis, but I'm going to look out for you today." Travis responds, "Yes, sir." All of a sudden, we hear someone scream, "Incoming!" We see something in the sky. Next thing we see is the tank turning to aim at something and shoot it down. The next page, doom, an explosion. Tanks, people blasted in every direction. All we see is chaos. Humvees smashed on their side. There's a huge crater and all the military battalion pointing and aiming downwards into this crater. As we see Hulk's hand reaching out, an officer screaming, "Dr. Bruce Banner, by the authority of the Department of Defense, we hear the Hulk coming out of the crater. The officer continues, "We're authorized to..." Next thing we see is the humongous Hulk, angry. He is crouched over, looming figure over all the officers. He starts to respond. There is no banner here. The officer asks, What do you want? The Hulk responds, from you, as he outstretches his arms and claps his hands with full force, and the officer's head just explodes from the vibrations and his body falls backwards. The Hulk continues, from you, nothing. Bridger screams, light him up! We see a military in full force shooting everything they have at the Hulk. Tanks, helicopters, all at the same time. We see the Hulk shielding his face and his arms, bullets bouncing off him. And then we see a close-up of Hulk getting even angrier. We see the Hulk jump up at a helicopter flying above him. He grabs the blade. Then cut to an incredible explosive double splash page, Hulk whipping the whole helicopter down into the military battalion, creating chaos around him. The Hulk then takes the remaining helicopter and throws it against another helicopter in flight, which creates a huge explosion. We see officers running away as the helicopter crashes behind them. Battalions are still unloading directly into Hulk's face and body, and the Hulk smashes officers against the asphalt. He grabs two soldiers and smashes them together as their body and guts explode in his hands. The next thing we see is Bridger shoving Travis out of the way as Hulk tries to grab him, only to find himself entangled and snarled in barbed wire. Bridger is now shooting at the Hulk and yells, "Run, Travis!" We see the Hulk look at Bridger and say, "I know you. I see Ginny DeGaulle, the war devil, behind your eyes, you little mortal." The Hulk then swats Bridger and whispers, "You belong with us." Travis yells, "Bridger!" Hulk says, "And this one as well," as he reaches and grabs Travis. And the next thing we see is him squishing Travis between his fingers. Travis is in Hulk's hands screaming, and we see the Hulk whisper, "Yes, change now, my darling." Travis is mutating, and we can't make out what he's saying anymore as Bridger looks on. Bridger takes out his gun and shoots Travis, killing him in Hulk's hands. Hulk then drops Travis, saying, "Ha, very well." He reaches for Bridger, saying, "Just you then." Next thing we see is Hulk holding Bridger in his hand and saying, "I summon the living city of Golgotha," and he slams his hand toward the ground. He continues, "I summon you to the bright towers in Nineveh. I now raise you from the mountain tomb of Urdu." We see the Hulk digging his fingers into the ground, saying, "The mother of horrors is dead. Her eldest lives. Obey me," as the ground starts shaking and cracking open. We see a tentacle breaking through the ground as Hulk screams, "Rise!" The rest of the ground gives away, breaking apart. Hulk drops Bridger into the crater. At the same time, we see something with eyes shoot straight up from the crater. Bridger slowly transforming into something as he falls down and down. Hours later, we see the aftermath. Rubble, demolished Humvees, top of a pile of dead soldiers. We see a man sit up, puking. He slowly staggers and looks over a side. Close up of his eyes, we see a reflection of a monstrous city. The transformed Bridger, still wrapped in barbed wire, standing over a hellish Lovecraftian landscape. On the bottom right side, we see all the dead soldiers looking up at him. We hear somebody scream, "Bridger!" Next scene is a line of dead soldiers all around looking up, asking him to come down. One of the dead soldiers screams, "You said you look out for us, Bridger, remember?" Close up of the shocked, zombie-looking Bridger as the soldier continues, "You promised!" Bridger slowly walks down toward the soldiers as he stops, clenching his fists. The next thing we see is the Hulk going into some sort of temple. We hear Hulk say, "Your kingdom has its captain, children," as he sits down on his skull-based throne and says, "As your king summons you." Close up on the Hulk's lips as he says, "Rise." Next thing we see is a monster standing up and screaming. Now we cut to New York City at the Baxter Building as we see the Fantastic Four watching TV news anchor saying, "Conflicting reports out of Kentucky this morning as an entire mountain collapses, blanketing the region in smoke." We cut to another television, the anchor continuing, "The local groups first blamed the coal mine fire burning for decades, But we are now hearing reports of superhuman resembling a former Avenger, the Hulk. We cut to Iron Man and Ms. Marvel watching the same report. The anchor, the Avengers have not yet confirmed Hulk's involvement, or if it is in fact Dr. Bruce Banner. Captain America and Spider-Man on a rooftop watching the same report. Immediately following this catastrophe, superhuman-related incidents have risen sharply across the globe. Cut to another television that says the occult community is calling for society to prepare for a modern age of monsters. We see a man in glasses drinking coffee and two men in the background. A bearded man saying, "Prepare? What's anybody supposed to do against something like that? Why are all the biggest, strongest ones always the worst ones?" In the next panel, we see the back of a head of a man drinking coffee as the bearded man continues, "Why can't you ever get a monster who's on our side?"